Good afternoon and welcome to Mike and the Hoss on Wolfeboro Community Television. I'm Mike Danais.
And I'm Charlie Hossack.
So, Coach, today I'm going to call this the extended edition of Mike and the Hoss.
I like it.
There's something happening. I don't know if you knew that there's something happening out there that's causing a few disruptions.
There's a lot, like COVID-19 and the coronavirus.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about.
Okay.
And so programming at WCTV, we've got a green light to go as long as we want.
We do, so I hope that makes people that watch WCTV very happy.
I hope so.
So before we start, actually, let's thank our sponsors, because we always get wrapped up.
Yep.
So I'd like to thank Morrissey's Porch and Pub.
Downtown Grill.
Yeah, Downtown Grill and Cafe. And, of course, Skelly's Market. Thank you guys so much for sponsoring this program.
And we will thank you again at the end.
Yes.
So you're getting bonus coverage today.
Bonus.
So let's start with COVID-19. We are in the building, although schools have been canceled. So
Yes.
you and I are responsible for online learning for our students.
We are.
So that's certainly different. It's certainly different for all the students of the Governor Wentworth School District and the athletes of the Governor Wentworth School District whose winter season was canceled at the end.
Yeah, it's officially over.
And I don't say if there's any fortunate part that this happened. It did happen almost in between seasons.
Almost. Yeah, you're right.
Almost. And so, I mean, if there was a blessing, then that, the case. So school sports right now are on, really complete hiatus.
Mm-hmm.
NHIA is tentatively wanting to start in the middle of April with games at the end of April.
Yeah.
There's obviously a lot of questions. You don't have
We don't know. I mean, we have to defer to the the authorities and the CDC and all the decisions that they're going to make, and obviously our governor. So
I mean,
who knows what's going to happen?
But I think it's fair to say, if you watch the news, that it's you don't have to be an idiot to realize that this is going to be going on for a while.
And I mean, I don't know. At least for me, I haven't seen something change minute to minute in my lifetime. Like every day. I mean, by the time this show is over, things have changed.
My wife and I were talking about the event of looking at your phone in the morning now when you wake up.
Yeah.
And the amount of notifications and news notifications and changing news, like you just said,
right.
In the morning, and just almost like resetting, where we're at.
Yep. What are we doing today? What's the plan? And exactly.
And every morning, and what the expectations is between economics and health and athletics.
Yeah.
It's been a very ever-changing news cycle.
Right. One thing I wanted to mention, we're just in the sports world with Kingswood Cal Ripken baseball.
Yeah.
So, as of right now, we're obviously both on the board, but we don't necessarily want to cancel the season, but we have to wait and see what's going to happen. We're going to push off the season, and see what happens. Kingswood Cal Ripken baseball and softball doesn't start anyways until May, but what we're gonna probably end up doing is kind of following the guidelines of our school district.
Yeah, NHIA.
NHIA. So,
and I think that's going to be the case for
all sports.
All sports, yeah. And safety first, and we said that in the last episode, and we'll keep saying that we have to be cautious.
Right.
All the athletics, not just athletics, but any kind of organization needs to be cautious. Yeah. Which, it does affect our show, because we were planning on having Josh Balding in today.
We were.
And through prudence, we decided that probably wasn't a great idea given everything that's going on.
Right.
And another thing that we're working on, and I want to share this with everybody out there, that this came from one of our friends, Doug Kiley. It was his suggestion on Twitter. So if you have any suggestions for the show, please use our Twitter account at Mike and the Hoss. To do last year we did Mount Rushmore.
Yeah,
I think we did two of them.
We did of professional sports,
and then we did one of Boston athletes or something like that.
We did.
And his idea was maybe we should do a Mount Rushmore of Kingswood. All-time Kingswood athletes.
Yeah.
And so I mean, one of the all-timers that we know very well is Chip Skelly.
Right.
And so I called him up on it just to kind of see what that would look like, and he immediately started writing down names.
Yeah.
And he was very excited about it. And so our thought is that we're going to do a round table. We're going to hopefully get Chip in and a few other of the legendary athletes, or coaches,
or
athletic directors, and do a round table with them, discussion about Kingswood history and athletics, and maybe come up with a Mount Rushmore. Maybe not. Maybe it just ends up being a discussion about some different eras of athletics. But just talking with Chip, it seemed to excite him, and I'm sure it would excite a lot of other people, especially the longtime people that have lived in Wolfeboro who have grown up and lived their lives with Kingswood Athletics and followed them through the Grunter and so on. So
I think one of the things that would be amazing is as we have this discussion whether we create the Mount Rushmore, but we get these athletes, and I think it would be fantastic if we could get some of these athletes on our show, because not only were they athletes at Kingswood, they've gone on to be successful, businessmen and women, and what they're doing with their lives. But how awesome would that be to be like, hey, you were mentioned in this program. We'd love to have you on the show, even if it's a call-in.
Yep. So our plan, our tentative plan was thinking about next week, but obviously with everything that's going on, it would not be wise for us to bring in people from the outside, especially that kind of sized group.
Right.
So we're going to hold off on that. But also work on that, because I think that's kind of almost like a special episode of Mike and Hoss.
That'd be great.
And it'll be interesting. So, we talked about school sports and how the COVID-19 has been affecting that. All the professional sports have also shut down their seasons or suspended them at the very least.
Yeah, right.
NBA, there's Kevin Durant, you saw.
He just came, he just tested positive.
And I think one of the things that was popping up in the news over the past couple of days is Donovan Mitchell.
Yes.
We talked about him in the last episode where that he had contracted it, but he's now come out and saying, I am symptom free.
Yeah.
He said I could play a 7-game series right now if I had to.
Right. He said he could walk down the street and you would never know.
Which is scary.
Very scary.
It's scary, and I think that's one of the big concerns with this is that there are people walking around out there that are carriers that can transfer it.
Sure.
But they don't even know, and the only reason that he was tested was because of Rudy Gobert. His teammate.
Right.
So, caution. I don't know how else to say it. NHL is also shut down. NHL, the first on the Ottawa Senators, a player tested positive last night or this morning.
Yeah.
So the NHL is affected by this. Besides being shutting down their season. Quick question on the NHL for you. In the bylaws of the NHL, if a season is suspended or shut down, then the team with the most points at that point
is the champ.
Is awarded the Stanley Cup. Your Boston Bruins are the in front of the league right now by a wide margin, actually.
Right.
If this does happen, and we don't want it to happen, we obviously want to see the playoffs. Do the Bruins accept the Stanley Cup? It obviously would have an asterisk to it.
Yeah,
do they accept the Stanley Cup? Do they want their name on it?
I think, yes. I think you're going to put your name on it, but the same thing. I don't know about, do you put a banner up? You're not going to have, obviously not going to have a parade.
No, I think the parade won't happen.
I think, I think if that's in the bylaws, you just do it with an asterisk. It's just, they were the top team in the regular season when the NHL was suspended. So
my simple answer is yes.
Yeah.
That's what the rule is. I think that so often, the NHL 16 teams make the playoffs, the NBA 16 teams make the playoffs, and there's not a lot of emphasis on the regular season sometimes.
Right.
I think you should be rewarded for being the best and taking, the regular seasons seriously.
Yeah.
They were the best. The Stanley Cup is awarded to the best team. They were the best team. And now, again, as you said, no parade. No parade. Yeah. No sharing of the cup and everything like that.
You get the Stanley Cup, but
I think your name goes on it.
Your name goes on it, but there still will be talk. Well, yes, you won the Stanley Cup.
Remember what Major League Baseball had the strike shortened season?
Of course.
And was there a champion awarded that year?
I don't think so.
You don't think so? Okay.
I don't think so.
I know.
It's probably not in the MLB bylaws.
All right, then the NFL had a strike shortened season.
Yeah.
And I think there was an NFL champion that year.
Okay.
Do you even know?
No.
No, they probably have a banner.
They've probably got a banner.
I don't know. I don't know. That's a hard one.
I know it's not Tampa Bay.
No. So the NFL, they did not suspend their opening with some controversy.
Right.
And we're obviously going to have a lot of talk about some major.
Do you think there's do you really feel the NFL needs to suspend their opening? It's March. Well, today it's March 18th.
No. The opening of the league year, where free agency and stuff like that.
I get that. That's what I was getting at. Free agency. Do you? I understand with free agency, if I was a free agent, I want to be wined and dined and all that stuff by other teams. But I'm just saying, but I don't need to do that. I mean, if I'm in the NFL and I'm a free agent, I know everything about every other team, and they know everything about me. So how is this impacted with our current virus crisis?
I'm not going to feel bad for the NFL player that wants to be wined and dined.
Yeah. No, I'm not either.
I think that you can do NFL free agency over the phone.
Right. Yeah, or you could do it like we're doing now. You could do video.
They're concerned about, we got to give them a physical to make sure that they all set up. So every single contract is tentative based on the physical.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know why that would be a really difficult concept. You don't do visits. You know, you be cautious. You make changes to adapt. But this is literally the only thing that's happening in the sports world right now. Right. And the fact that NFL has their free agency is probably the only reason we're having our show today.
Probably.
So I'm all for keeping it going. Major League Baseball has suspended the start of their season.
Yeah, they pushed it again.
Do you think they're going to shorten the season, or do you think they're going to extend the season?
I think it's one of these things where this is the way that, baseball is a fabric of American society. And I think, kind of if you go back to like 9/11, post 9/11, I think we needed baseball. And I think once they get the season going, they're going to play a regular season.
162 games?
I think it's important to get sports back into the fabric of America. I sit at home. I don't know what you're doing, but it's tough like not having thankfully we get the NFL, but it's tough not having sports. Not that I'm addicted to watching every sports show, but I do enjoy listening, and I do enjoy keeping up with my favorite teams. And it's changed my life significantly.
My family had a mad game of Scrabble last night.
Did they?
To replace our sports, and
you should video that.
I was trash talking. I was trash talking my daughter and my wife. I needed it. I needed to be aggressive with it. I was obviously something missing, and so they swore they would never play with me again. So
you've ruined that.
I'm going to have to rebound. Yeah. I don't. Right now MLB starting in the middle of April, give or take. I don't
even know if
that happening.
Right?
So I think a shortened season is probably a likelihood. You just hope you have some sort of a season.
Yeah, have something.
Although, real quick thought about the Red Sox.
Yeah.
It might be in their best
I was just going to say
if
we could get a really shortened season. Can you imagine?
One game playoff. Chris Sale's healthy for one game.
Yeah.
Let's go. All right. Anything else with COVID-19 that we want to touch base on?
I don't think so. And really everything, even the golf world's done, wrestling, everything's been suspended as far as sports. Even boxing, UFC.
We were depending on wrestling.
I was brushing up on my wrestlers. So we've got nothing. XFL, I talked to my buddy who works for the XFL the other day.
Vince? You talk to Vince?
I did not talk to Vince. I actually talked to a guy named Ray, my high school buddy. And he's being compensated for the rest of the season, as are the players and all that stuff. So
that's good.
That's a good thing, because that's the other piece of this sports world, and that maybe we should talk about briefly, is think of all the people that are employed by professional sports, from your ticket taker to your usher to the person that cleans up. Just all the stadium operations, and concessions, all of that.
And we've heard some good stories about owners and players stepping up, and the ones that are making multi-million dollars, a day, stepping up and supporting those workers, the concessions, like I said, the concessions, ticket holders, and all, to make sure that they have a regular check and so on, so that they're being compensated. Except for the Bruins owner. The Bruins owner has not stepped up yet.
No.
He's the one that hasn't stepped up.
So I wonder if it'll have to be the TD Garden. Who knows?
I don't know. Somebody needs to. These deep pocket owners, deep pocket players. Zion Williamson, we saw. Rudy Gobert. He's somebody that was a villain for a few days because he went around touching the microphones and mocking that this virus has a good dose of karma. It seems to be getting people that kind of mock it. But touching the microphones and so on, he ends up getting it, and so a heartfelt apology, but then donated $500,000 to anybody that's within the the Jazz organization.
Yeah.
To the ticket holders and so on to help them.
Right.
So, I mean, he came back. I want to say he made up for it. It was a stupidity what he was doing.
Yeah.
But, you know, I mean, there's redemption.
Right.
And he certainly did it.
Yeah.
So, the other thing, we talked about NFL free agency. You ready?
We did.
And there's been a big change in Patriots Nation over the last 24 hours.
Yes.
And, you know, we're going to probably be, you know, this is going to be on Friday, so you all know this, that Tom Brady is leaving the New England Patriots.
He is. He sent out quite a long tweet yesterday talking about how he's moving on. He doesn't know. I mean, in the tweet, he said he doesn't know where he's going to land, but he thanked the Patriots organization. He thanked Robert Kraft. He thanked Bill Belichick. And, yeah, it's real. It's real. It's real. And I would like to let's rewind a little bit. Our prediction was that I think our final prediction was he was leaving, and we both probably struck out with where we thought he was going. We both said San Francisco.
I think we were wrong on every single episode that we had, basically.
Okay. Well,
I think we were. I think
that's par for the course.
But not only us. I think just about every single professional sports broadcaster, reporter, or whatever, expert from the middle of the season last year to where it is. And, you know, a blanket statement that he's leaving, you know, that's fine. A blanket statement that he's staying, okay, that's a little bit more specific.
Right.
But just about every single team was thought to have been a landing spot for him, that was provided from some expert reporter.
Right.
San Francisco.
Yep.
Los Angeles. Or Vegas. Los Angeles, the Chargers.
Right.
Tennessee. The Giants. Chicago.
Yeah. Pretty much just about every team.
And except for the one that people kind of laughed at.
That was the team that we couldn't really pick. Right. What do they call it? They didn't call it the mystery team. They called it we'll call it a mystery team.
A mystery team.
Yeah.
But I mean, the name was out there, so I mean, it looks like Brady's going to the Buccaneers, Tampa, and anytime that Tampa came up, because it was the Bruce Arians thing that he's quarterback guru. He's going to give Tom the keys to the.
He's going to allow him to.
He's going to do whatever he wants, everything like that. And all these experts says there's no way he's going to Tampa. There's no way he's going to put on Tampa Bay. No way. Yeah. Well, guess where he's going.
There's a good chance.
It looks like he's going there.
He's going to go there. And you know the other thing, and I know you saw this, but WEEI's own Dale Arnold kind of broke that story. Did you see that?
No, I didn't.
He was, so Dale Arnold was the one that kind of put out the information and said Tom Brady is going to sign with Tampa Bay. Now, as of right now, Tom Brady has not signed with anyone as we're doing this show, but all roads are leading towards the Buccaneers. So I thought that was interesting. And then once Dale Arnold broke it, then Colin Cowherd then picked it up on his radio show. But it's interesting to see where did Dale Arnold, who's from Boston, get his information.
So I bulleted a bunch of questions as I was brainstorming last night, just to kind of organize our thoughts as the day. There's been so much with the Tom Brady stuff, and we're talking a generational quarterback.
Right.
Our kids don't know of another Patriots quarterback.
No.
They don't.
No.
I mean, this is 20 years of the same guy. So let's go back. Let's recap the offseason.
Okay.
Are you glad that from the moment the season ended to now is over as far as that goes?
Absolutely. Yeah.
He did a really nice job as far as keeping what he was going to do close to the vest. He apparently went to the Robert Kraft's house on Sunday night.
Yeah, Sunday night.
Sunday night, right? Yeah. And told them that he was going to be leaving.
Right.
Face-to-face conversation. He said he was going to be leaving.
And you saw that Kraft had said he thought that this was the typical meeting that always happens between them, that they come and then they kind of work out and negotiate a deal.
Yeah.
So Kraft was a bit shocked.
So I'm happy this offseason's over. I thought this was very frustrating. And anxiety around, obviously we're all, most of us are Tom Brady fans.
Of course.
But this was hard this offseason.
Right.
Because I think we all kind of felt that, yes, there was a legitimate possibility that he was going to leave this time.
Yep.
And that he was going to leave somewhat sour. You know, his last throw was a pick six. His last game was a loss. That hurts, but I am happy that the offseason is over.
Yes.
And as the first, recapping the offseason, I know the offseason is not fully over, but I'm glad this Brady watch is most likely over.
Right.
Question: is he leaving, or do the Patriots not want him?
I don't think the Patriots want him.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
I agree with the Hoss here today. Yeah. I think that this was more about Belichick saying multi-step. I don't think he wanted to pay him. He certainly didn't want to pay him $30 million because they got $13 million on the books on the salary cap anyway for him. So if they paid him $30, that was going to cost him $43. That's a lot of money. They have $55 in cap space.
Right.
There wasn't going to be if they gave him $30, they couldn't do anything else.
Right.
We'll talk about who the next quarterback is going to be, but I believe that Belichick wasn't pleased or thought that at this point in Brady's career that he could be replaced.
Right.
And I mean, he didn't have a great year last year.
No.
And I don't think he had a great year, not only statistical-wise, but I think emotionally I don't think he had a great year. I don't think he was a great leader last year.
Wasn't a good leader, didn't seem to be enjoying himself.
Right, and that's flowed to the rest of the team. And I think that was part of the reason. If this was a Tom Brady of, even 2 years ago, where he's pumping guys up on the sideline, he's positive, he's not pouting off to the side, not saying stuff in the press, I think Belichick might have thought a little bit differently about it. Tom basically did this.
Yeah.
And so, no, I totally agree with you. I don't think the Patriots want him. The word I'm hearing is that they offered him $13 for 1 year.
Yeah,
that's basically saying we don't want you.
We don't want you. Yeah.
And I appreciate that Kraft let Bill make the decision. This is a huge decision.
Yeah.
This is a franchise-altering decision, potentially for the next 10 years, 15 years, depending on what the quarterback that they find. And they had an opportunity to make that tough decision.
Right.
He wanted to make it a while ago with Garoppolo.
Yeah.
So what's that, 3 years ago?
Yep.
This is where Bill wanted to go 3 years ago.
Right.
If you think about the team first, then the Patriots don't want him back.
No.
And it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard for all of us. All right, where might he go? I said we have been wrong all year.
We have been wrong all year. So it looks like he's going to Tampa Bay.
It looks like he's going to Tampa. Yeah, he hasn't announced it yet, but it certainly does look like that.
Well, he can't announce it yet, right? I mean, they so far what they've said is they've agreed in principle to a contract. Tampa Bay came out and said that
$30 million a year.
Yeah.
A year-to-year contract.
Yeah,
so
which is really interesting because
he wanted the
Tom was all about the 2. I want to play till 45.
I wanted commitment. I wanted commitment, and so
I
find that interesting also. 20 years.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think back to the 01 season, which is when he became a starter.
Yeah.
The Super Bowl was in 02, I believe.
02,
yeah. So the 01 season when he became a starter, we didn't know who he was.
No.
I remember being on the golf course when Bledsoe went down, and I was just I was like, oh, we're going to get smoked for the rest of the year. We're awful. Indianapolis was coming to town.
Right.
And that's when Peyton Manning was starting to really put up some real big stats. He says, we're going to lose by 60, da-da-da. So what do the Patriots do? They beat Indianapolis that day. Brady has a really efficient day, holds on to the ball, and then we're off and running.
And, we haven't stopped since.
No. It's almost hard to fathom the success that we've had for 20 years. 9 Super Bowls.
Wow.
6 wins.
Yeah.
13 AFC Championship games.
Yeah. Wow, it's amazing.
It's been great. It's been great. I had said, getting back to this, my kids are having a difficult time with this. More than I am.
Yeah.
And it's just because we don't know anybody else besides Tom Brady.
Right.
I mean, if somebody has a Patriots jersey in their closet, what number does it have?
Well, number 12.
It has number 12.
Yeah.
But speaking of that, I saw somebody burning that jersey. Stop that.
Burning? Oh, we can't.
Stop
so
that.
Even you cannot, there is nothing bad to say about Tom Brady.
Nothing.
As a New England Patriots fan, Tom Brady will always be a Patriot. And even when he goes on to Tampa Bay, I'm going to root for him.
I'm going to root for Tampa Bay. I'm really... I would have rooted for him if he was in Vegas.
Well, I don't care where he goes. I'm going to root for Tom Brady.
I would have rooted for him in San Francisco. I would not root for him if he went to Buffalo.
No, or Miami.
Or Miami.
Yeah.
I mean, those are some places. There are some places. Dallas. Yeah. Sorry, Mr. McCullough. I would not have root for him there either.
No one should root for Dallas. So. But yeah, so it'll be interesting. So let's make the assumption he's going to sign with Tampa Bay.
Okay.
They're not coming this year, but in 2021, Tampa Bay is coming to Gillette. So that might be a good Mike and the Hoss show.
From Gillette.
From Gillette, of course.
Okay.
Timothy can pack up the van and we can head out there.
I think that would.
But yeah, so 2021 will be if Tom Brady were on the Buccaneers in 2 years, then that would be his return to Gillette.
I like it.
That'd be interesting.
I like it. Yep. Book it.
Yep.
All right. So, different kind of question. The Patriots' success over the last 20 years. Mm-hmm. This is a little question. We got a pie. It's 100% pie.
Yeah.
All right.
There it is. Math. I like it.
What percent is Tom and what percent is Bill?
50-50. I think Bill and Tom need each other, and I think we're actually gonna see that as the NFL season unfolds this year. That they were kind of almost attached at the hip for the past 20 years. I don't think. And I don't think they want it to be this way. I think Bill would like to, obviously, as Bill, he wants to be successful with whoever his next quarterback is in the Patriots this year. And obviously Tom Brady wants to lead the Buccaneers to the playoffs. So I just think that they were good for each other. And I also think in the pie, in the ingredients of the pie, is Robert Kraft. Because I think without Robert Kraft, that relationship wouldn't have been what it was.
Okay, I think by all accounts, and from everything we see, Bill is very difficult to play for, and I think that Robert Kraft smoothed a lot of that over with his star player. Bill treats everybody else the same, and treat Tom the same, and it was Kraft that was the one that allowed that to happen, made sure that was okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to go 60-40 Bill.
Okay.
And the reason why is, a couple. Matt Castle, I think that, Bill was able to win with Matt Castle. And I think Bill needs a certain type of quarterback to win. He didn't do well with Drew Bledsoe because Drew Bledsoe did not take care of the ball.
Yeah.
He was a slinger. He was a Brett Favre. He was that kind of stuff. I think that somebody that can run his offense, protect the ball, that's willing to throw the ball away, and if it's not there, not force the ball down the field.
Yeah,
I think where his success is, and so if Bill has that kind of quarterback next, then I think you're going to see
success with the Patriots.
I do. I think you're going to see success. If Jameis Winston comes to town, we're 0-16. I'm serious.
Yes,
we're
0-16. Same if Cam Newton were to come to town.
Right. We need somebody that's going to take care of the ball.
Yeah.
That's going to stay within the system. You got to remember when Tom Brady started out, and the game manager, quote unquote, but he only threw the ball 15 to 20 times a game.
Mostly handoffs.
It was mostly handoffs, little checkdowns here and there, and their game scores were 17 to 13.
Yeah.
We're going to kick some field goals.
Yeah. They weren't putting up 35 points a game.
No, and so the offense took off more in the 07 season when Randy Moss and Welker, and they opened things up, and they let a little bit more Tom have it. But also remember, they didn't win in those years. I mean, they got there, but they didn't win.
Right.
They won in the early 2000s when Tom wasn't the Tom that we know now.
Right.
They won in the late teens?
Late teens, yeah.
Late teen, 14.
Yeah.
Now, I am not selling him short in any way, shape, or form because they don't win in Atlanta. They don't win in Seattle without Tom Brady being Tom Brady.
Right.
And, putting up 400 plus yards and these drives that we're gonna see in a little while. So, I am all for this, but I'm going 60-40. All right. Quick question. I mean, we've certainly been going for a while. Do you agree with letting him go?
Oh, absolutely. I think we're at a point that it was a good decision by the Patriots, and hopefully Tom will have success next year at his new team.
So should the Patriots have paid him?
No. I mean, if the Patriots were to pay him, then think about it. They probably wouldn't have been able to sign the McCourty twins.
Yep.
There's just like you could sign they have the money to sign Tom Brady. Who's he going to throw to? Danais and Hossack? I mean, who's left?
I'd be up for trying.
But yeah, but you know what I'm saying?
I do.
Yeah.
And his legacy, and we're gonna have some more stuff on his legacy. Well, we've talked about this. He's the greatest ever.
Absolutely, he's the GOAT.
He shouldn't be. His jersey should not be getting burned.
No.
Is this going to tarnish it by leaving?
No. He's going to go off, and whether or not he finds success, and he's gonna in the next couple of years come back, retire as a Patriot. We're gonna have a parade. We're gonna celebrate Tom Brady, and we're gonna create we're
gonna have a parade for Tom Brady.
I think he deserves one.
Okay.
The greatest of all time.
Okay.
We should organize the Mike and the Haas parade. But he's gonna get a statue, and forever go down in Patriots history.
He'll get a statue
as the greatest of all time.
So different on this episode than we've done in the past. We have some video support.
Yes.
And so we've pulled a couple videos. The first one we're going to show you in a second. This is just a tribute. Because we're talking about his legacy and the greatest of all time, et cetera, et cetera. Later on, we're going to talk about his greatest games. So, Timothy, if you can roll this video.
Tom Brady's in the game. Showed some great poise in preseason. Let's see if it carries over to the season. Touchdown, Tom Brady! The Patriots are back in it.
Here are the American Football Conference champions, the New England Patriots.
Patriots are Super Bowl champions!
No, from us. Hopefully we can sound it.
Tom Brady, touchdown pass number 50, an NFL record.
Come up here now, laser focus. Let's go! It's about honor, about respect. We're bringing this sucker home.
And they're bound for Super Bowl 53. We're going back, baby, and there ain't nothing you can do about it. Tom Brady, six-time champion.
Getting a little teary-eyed.
It was. We didn't actually have sound in our studio to listen to some of that, but obviously we watched it before.
Yep.
Holy cow, that guy won a lot.
He did.
I mean, just
knows how to win.
The rings on the fingers.
Yeah.
It's awesome. And all right, so let's go to greatest Tom Brady stories that we know of. And I had put down a couple. So obviously he was the 199th pick of the 99 draft or 2000 draft?
2000.
2000 draft, yeah. 2000 draft. He was 199th pick. He was, at the time, there was 7 rounds, right? I think there's only 6 rounds now, or there's 6 rounds and now there's 7. One of the other ones. But he was, one of the really good videos of yours of the Brady 6. You ever seen that one?
Yeah.
All the 6 quarterbacks that were picked ahead of him. And there were some good ones.
Yeah.
But they weren't the GOAT.
No.
He is always fighting for it. He was always, never the anointed starter when he was coming up through high school and through college.
Right.
He wasn't a starter at Michigan until halfway through the senior year.
Senior year, yeah, exactly.
So it's he's always been fighting for it. One of the best stories for Tom Brady that I have is after they picked him in the draft, nobody knew who he was.
Right.
And he was walking in the guts of, I think at the time it was Sullivan Stadium. At the time.
Yep.
It was before they had built
Before
Gillette.
they built Gillette, yeah.
And which, I mean, if you remember going, do you remember going to that stadium? That was not an enjoyable experience.
No.
But anyway, so you can imagine what the tunnels look like in there, in the offices.
Dank
and
and dark. And,
And so he's walking down the hall, and Bob Kraft, obviously younger Bob Kraft, comes by him. And Brady, and Kraft doesn't have no idea who he is. I'm not worried about this 199th pick.
Right.
And so Tom Brady extends his hand and says, "I'm Tom Brady. You picked me in the whatever round, 6th round." And he says, "I am the greatest decision you've ever made."
Wow. The confidence.
And then he walked away. I mean, the confidence is just, that's awesome.
It is.
That is absolutely awesome. And I don't know. Maybe that's why he is who he is.
Yeah.
Now, on another note, and we're going to talk about who the next quarterback is going to be later on, but Jarrett Stidham, apparently the book on Jarrett Stidham, that he is one of the cockiest, when he was in college, one of the cockiest quarterbacks that they've ever seen.
Really?
So I don't know if that's good or...
I don't know. I mean, because Tom wasn't really like that in college. I mean, he was a fighter. I mean, I'm sure.
A fighter.
Yeah.
Confident in his ability, but I don't know if he was cocky.
Because I wouldn't even, I mean, I think even after 20 years, I would never describe Tom Brady as cocky.
No, I would agree with you. I would agree. So, anyway.
So we'll see what. Well, we'll talk about Stidham later.
All right. So we have some Super Bowls to talk about, and he was in 9, as we talked about. He was in 9 Super Bowls. You know, if a NFL quarterback makes it to 1 Super Bowl, win or loss, that's considered a successful career. Yeah. He was in 9.
So 9, and think about it. So think of like some great quarterbacks, like Dan Marino comes to mind. Never
won. He
never won. He was in a Super Bowl.
He was in a Super Bowl. Yep.
Never won a Super Bowl, and Brady won 6. It's crazy.
It went 9.
And he went to 9.
9. So I mean, he was the Patriots quarterback for 18 years because 1 year he was hurt.
Yeah.
And then 1 year he was on the bench.
Yeah.
So he was the Patriots quarterback for 18 years. He went to the Super Bowl half the time.
Yeah. It's crazy. That is crazy.
So the first one, or maybe at the end you could pick your favorites.
Your favorite,
so the first
sure.
one,
Yep.
I think I was sitting by myself during this game because it was late and Sunday, and I was like, they're going to get smoked by 50. It was against the Rams and the high-flying offense that the Rams had.
Yep.
And what's your do you remember anything from that Super Bowl? Do you have any kind of special memories?
I mean, I think and it has to do with Tom Brady. I mean, it wasn't actually the gameplay. It was after it was over and just the excitement on his face. Like you see that video all the time of just how excited he was and the confetti's coming down, and it was like this. Like you look back now and like this is the beginning of something great.
Yeah. It's that drive at the end when Madden says, he's got to hold on the ball, sit on the ball.
Oh, my gosh, John Madden. Yeah, that's right.
And sit on the ball, and then he comes out just hucking the ball.
Yeah.
And with confidence.
Yeah.
He's throwing crossing patterns to, Troy Brown.
Yeah.
And he's firing it in traffic that it could get tipped and everything like that.
Matter.
But no, he was just firing it. The next Super Bowl was against the Panthers, which again went down to the wire with Vinatieri hitting another field goal.
Yeah.
That was a little bit more back and forth. I remember the Patriots were in relative control of that game, and then Rodney Harrison got hurt at the end of the game, and then they had no safety help, and it made a big difference. And so the Patriots were losing that game with about 2 minutes left. And then they scored. I think it was might have been one of Vrabel's touchdowns, but
Vinatieri kicked the winning field goal.
It was a solid game. I think he got the MVP on that one. Yeah. The next one, the next year, so they went back-to-back against the Eagles.
Yes.
That was the Donovan McNabb puking in the huddle game. I think that that was one of those games where it was close, but you never felt the Patriots were out of control.
Right.
They were in control of that whole game.
Whole game. Yeah.
And that they were just basically dictating everything that was going to happen. And we got to mention that the defense in 03 and 04 was phenomenal.
Yeah.
They were stacked in the front, they were stacked in the back, they were stacked in the middle. So you had a lot of confidence with them. Probably the most painful Super Bowl was in 07-08.
Yeah.
The undefeated season.
Yeah. Tyree's catch.
Yep. Against his helmet.
Yeah. Oh man.
That one I still really won't watch.
No.
It's just really it hurts because they had a chance to be the greatest team of all time.
Yeah.
And
the undefeated season.
And if you go back in the last couple minutes of that game, how many opportunities they had to put it away. So the David Tyree catch, you mentioned that.
Yeah.
The Asante Samuel interception drop on the sideline.
Yeah. Oh.
The Teddy Bruschi on the Tyree catch had Eli Manning in his grasp. Yep. And he just brings him down. That's the game.
Yep, that was it. And the thing is, I mean, I don't know how you feel. Like, as far as Manning, I cannot stand Eli Manning. I never liked him. Like, Peyton Manning I actually like, and I think he's great, and I would root for Peyton Manning, just not against the Patriots. Oh. But there's something about Eli I just didn't like, and the fact that he beat New England.
Twice.
Yeah, it's frustrating.
So then the Giants, the 21-17 year, another one where it was that Mario Manningham. Was it Manningham?
Yes.
The catch down the sideline.
Yeah. Oh, the little. Yeah.
That thing, which was an incredible catch.
Yeah.
But again, that was the defining play of that game.
Right.
So the Patriots had gone from 2004 basically to 2014. They hadn't won anything. They had been to 2 Super Bowls that they had lost. A lot of talk at that time that they were done. Mm-hmm. And they get into the playoffs, and Seattle had just won the year before against Denver. Mm-hmm. They were good. Seattle was good. They were high-flying. Their defense, the Legion of Doom, the whole 9 yards.
Of course.
Patriots get in there. They're down by 10 in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
And Brady probably had his greatest quarter ever. Yeah. I want to say it was perfect. Mm-hmm. The numbers were perfect. And he still almost lost that game because of that weird catch down the sidelines.
Oh, my God. Another one of
the bobble things. And then that was the Malcolm Butler game at the end. And that seemed to just break the tide as far as the bad luck for the Patriots.
Right.
Hard to see the team went to 9 Super Bowls. They had bad luck. But they kind of did in those other 2 losses. And you saw when he made that catch, not Butler, but when the Seattle guy made the catch, you saw Brady's face on the sideline just shaking his head, I can't believe this is happening again. But Malcolm Butler saved the day.
He did save the day. And Pete Carroll wanted the Patriots to win, so he threw the ball, which was great. So, but what a heck of a game. And then the enthusiasm on the sidelines when Butler made that interception.
Awesome. It was so awesome.
I mean, you saw Garoppolo and you saw Brady, and it was awesome.
Yeah. And then in 17, I believe it was, 17 or 18, the Falcons game, the 28-3 game. And that was in Atlanta, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Wasn't that in Atlanta? He was terrible in the first half.
He was.
He threw a pick six.
Yep.
He was all over the place. It was bizarre.
Yeah.
28-3. They're coming into the end of the third quarter. Mm-hmm. You see him yell down the sidelines. We got this. Stay calm. We got this. And then they score. Mm-hmm. Miss the extra point.
Yep.
And you're like, oh, this is not. Anytime they miss the extra point, I always think they're going to lose just because of an omen. But then they rattled off the most incredible, and there's no argument about this, the most incredible comeback in Super Bowl history.
Of course.
We thought Seattle was the most incredible comeback.
Yeah.
This thing, and I don't know if anything will touch this.
Probably not.
28-3 going into the fourth, at the end of the third quarter.
And 134-28.
The Eagles game, they lost 41-33. Brady threw for over 500 yards in that game. Probably statistically his best game. It's just that the defense didn't show up.
Yeah.
And that was also a Malcolm Butler game, except that for different reasons.
He did not play.
He didn't play. To this day, we don't know why.
We don't know why. He was crying on the sideline when he was told right before the national anthem, "You're not playing."
What? Just curious. What do you think the reason he didn't play?
I think he violated some team policy.
I do too. Yeah. I do too. And to Bill's credit, it still has not come out.
Nope.
He's protected him.
Yeah.
He's protected him. I think it was a bad policy that he violated, and they protected him. And then the last one, which was last year against the Rams, the Patriots won 13-3. This brought us back to, I think, how they were winning early on.
Yeah.
Defense, protect the ball, defense. Yep. He made one real memorable throw in that game, the one down to Gronk in the seam. Mm-hmm. Otherwise than that, do you remember any,
defensive battle? Actually, on both sides of the ball.
Yep. So, I think that, and we saw them this year kind of go back to that defense first attitude, and I think that that's where the Patriots are trending back to.
And I mean, you saw it this year at the beginning of the year. There was comparisons to the 2003 and 2004, the boogeymen this year of defense. I mean, obviously that didn't hold up, but they had some. At least this year's team, they looked good early on, and the argument can be made was, well, they were playing terrible teams, maybe, but you're right. They need to go back to more of a defensive mindset, and that's Bill. That's who Bill is. So.
Just remind me, before we leave the episode, we had some All-State honors for Kingswood athletes, and I want to mention them when we get all done.
Sure.
All right, so we don't forget.
Yep.
All right, so the next step that we have another video, and we're going to stop this video as we're going. This is his clutch plays. This is top 5 clutch plays, and we'll talk about it, and then we'll talk about what we're going to see next, and then we're going to wrap things up.
Okay. Sounds good.
The Ravens try to take another step in the direction of the Super Bowl this afternoon.
Tom's under pressure, and Tom goes down again. And Terrell Suggs there for the Ravens.
Look, fellas, it's just about doing our job. Just cover your man. Brady sets up, fires, low throw, handled, breaking free, it's Amendola. Brady's got it, looks, fires, over the middle, caught, touchdown. Play clock is down to 4. Brady throws, end zone, oh, it's caught, touchdown, Brandon LaFell. The New England Patriots have come from behind. The Patriots advance to the AFC Championship game.
That was the Ravens game.
Yep, divisional game.
And it feels like they played the Ravens in like 5 or 6 of those at the end of the season, didn't it?
Yeah.
Because the Ravens had their number.
They did.
They weren't afraid to come into New England. They showed that they had won before.
Yeah. One big point, and we just saw it. That catch by Amendola. So Amendola has to go down. He's going backwards, go down, reach out, and make a catch. That you've caught a football before. That's nearly impossible to do. Mm-hmm. And Amendola made that catch to keep the drive alive.
Well, in a couple of these segments down the road, we're going to see almost an even more impossible catch.
Yeah, I know.
Which is awesome. Yeah. But so that was number 5. That was listed as number 5 as some of his greatest clutch, comebacks. And I think what needs to be said about that Baltimore game, their defense was awesome.
They were great.
They were just absolutely awesome. That was Ed Reed and
Suggs.
Ray Lewis. Mm-hmm. All right, let's do the next one.
Last time the Patriots trailed in the game and had to come from behind was right here in November against the Houston Texans. And now they trail again by a point, 22-21. Seymour, the fullback, offset right, play action fake, Brady, fired, touchdown, as they drive 68 yards for the touchdown. Brady will go for a 2-point conversion. Falcons is running back to the left, to Tom Brady in the shotgun. It goes a direct snap to Kevin Falk, and he runs it in. Direct snap to Kevin Falk, and he ran it in for a 2-point conversion. And with 2:51 to go in Super Bowl 38, it is 29-22.
Malone is ready. He's got the ball and back to throw. Looks, floats it in the end zone. Wide open. Touchdown, Carolina!
Well, no matter who wins this one, people will be writing that this may have been the best Super Bowl of all time. 31 seconds remaining. Fires left. It is caught by Daniel Graham. Drops back to throw. Looks, fires, caught.
New England with 8 seconds left to call a timeout.
Tonight at 29-29, he'll try to win it with about a 41-yard field goal. Snap, ball down, kick up. Kick is on the way. Kick is good! Kick is good! 2 Super Bowls this century.
So I don't want to spend too much time on that one. For some reason, I think that Super Bowl is underplayed, which we're going to do right now.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just it's not as glitzy as some of the other ones. Maybe because it was Carolina.
Trading touchdowns, going back and forth.
Jake Delhomme.
No, that's it wasn't Manning.
Right. They were in California. Carolina kind of came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And I also don't think the Patriots played well in that game.
Right.
Defensively or even offensively.
No,
so
a lot of blown coverages defensively.
Let's look at the next one.
All right.
Let's go, boys! It's our time!
3rd and 14 from the New England 28. Tom has the snap. Under pressure. Catch by Edelman! He takes a hard hit. Stays on his feet. Shotgun snap to Tom. Shuffles left. Fires back to the end zone. Touchdown, New England! Throws for Gronk. Makes the grab on the far side at the 20. The sticks will move again. Tom looks left. Throws for Edelman! Touchdown! Patriots! They're back in the lead in Super Bowl 49. Russell Wilson, quick throw, and it's good. Intercepted to Butler. Butler has it at the 1. A fourth Lombardi Trophy is headed to one Patriot place.
That might be one of my favorite ones.
Yeah.
That really was.
Yeah. Because it was just so the nerves. Oh gosh. I remember seeing when I went down to the when Seattle had the ball down on the 3. And I'm like, oh gosh, the Patriots are going to end up losing this game. And I was just, then I just went for I'm so sad. And then to oh my goodness, so this just happened.
I remember being on the edge of I think I was at my room at the time, just pouting, and like this when they're one, and then not wanting to look, and then you see, and it's intercepted, and just jumping up, and we had a house full at the time, and so running downstairs and
screaming and hollering. But if we're coaching Seattle at that point, and I know that they talk about this forever, you go beast mode, baby, beast mode. Nobody's stopping him.
Nobody's stopping him.
No,
right there.
and Seattle wins.
Yep.
Oh well.
All right, next one.
All right, folks, button up your chin strap. Here we go.
Brady takes the direct snap. Stands up in the pocket. Starts to run with it. Throws over the middle of his spot. Brady out of a shotgun. Over the middle it goes. Complete to J.R. Redmond to the 30-yard line. First down, Patriots. The clock winding down on one of the great Super Bowl games ever played. No timeouts remaining. Brady takes the direct snap. Stands in the pocket. Dumps it off to the left. Complete to J.R. Redmond. 30, 35. Fires down the field. Caught. Troy ran at the 40. He's to the left of the 37-yard line. It goes out of bounds. Stopping the clock. Fires over the middle. Caught by Jermaine Wiggins down to the 30-yard line of St. Louis. Throws the ball to the ground with 7 seconds left, and Adam Vinatieri will try to win it with a 48-yard field goal attempt. Kick up. Kick is on the way, and it is good. It's good. It's good. The game is over, and the Patriots are Super Bowl champions.
You laugh. There's probably gonna be a lot of guys. All right. So you saw a little bit of the preview, the number one, but let's go back to number two. That one, I think, caught us all by surprise.
Yeah, absolutely.
Who thought the Patriots?
No one. They weren't supposed to beat the Rams.
Well, the Patriots weren't the Patriots then.
Right.
You know, they were the Patriots. Yeah. That kind of stuff. They weren't. They were the Cinderella. They were the liked team.
Yeah.
They weren't the evil empire they are now.
Right.
And just 20 years is a long time, and things have changed. We're the Yankees.
Yeah.
We are the evil empire. We are the
Yankees.
hated team, and it'll be interesting now that Tom Brady leaves how that transforms.
Mm-hmm.
All right, one more.
Out the back door, Freeman wide open. Now going to cut it loose, looking for Julio. What a catch!
Come on, boys, let's go now. Got locked in now, laser focus.
Shotgun snap to Brady. Line drive throw, goal line diving catch, belt high, touchdown. It's 28-20.
Tom takes the snap. There's pressure. He throws toward the right. Hogan makes the grab after Brady. Stands in, throws down the middle for Edelman. Ball's tipped. And Julian diving for it.
There it is. Oh my goodness.
Edelman has it. Did he make the catch?
He's got
he
it.
did. They're going to hand the ball to White. He scores with 57 seconds left. He's going to throw. Amendola. He got the 2-pointer. The game is tied. James White is set behind Brady. Second and goal to go from the 2. Toss sweep right for James White.
Yes, maybe.
Cuts it
Maybe
upfield.
it was
Driving
bad.
forward. Diving to the goal line. A touchdown. And a title for the Patriots.
I can't believe it.
They have completed the greatest comeback in Super Bowl history.
So thank you, Timothy, for finding those and putting those out there. That was awesome.
That was.
All right, so I mean we've been here for a little while, so
I mean, we're going to pick our greatest, but I think we're going to agree.
Atlanta.
I mean, I
think so,
That's
too.
the greatest Super Bowl.
I think so too.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
Who's the next Patriots quarterback?
Right now it's Jarrett Stidham, but I was talking with actually Coach Skelly a little last night. I think Jacoby Brissett comes back. Jacoby Brissett is now without a job. I mean, so bring him back into the fold. He knows the system. He's worked under Belichick. He's worked under Josh McDaniels before. Does he come back in and?
Is he come back in as a backup or the starter?
I don't know. I think he'd come back in as a starter. So and give Stidham a little more time.
I want Stidham.
Okay.
I want Stidham. I think that the more I read about it, the more there's a lot more upside there than Jacoby Brissett. I think we've seen the best of Jacoby Brissett.
Mm-hmm.
I think Stidham gives you. I can get excited about Stidham.
Yeah, I could too.
And after the first game, we'll probably wish that Brady was back.
So do the Patriots try to move up in the draft and pick a quarterback?
I think they would have to. They got to have some insurance. My guess is I could see them bringing Brissett back, but I also see Stidham and Brissett competing for that position for the starter, and then drafting a third quarterback, and then trying to recycle it that way. Well, where will Tom Brady play next year? I think we
think it's Tampa Bay.
And then who will have the better year? Let's say it's Tampa Bay. Are the Tampa Bay or the Patriots going to have the better year?
Well, Tampa Bay was 7-9 last year.
Yes.
So if Tampa Bay, I don't know, the expectation is for New England to continue to make the playoffs. So if Tampa Bay makes the playoffs, do they have a better year? Because the expectation is New England should make the playoffs, even with the current makeup of the team.
I think it's a great question, and right now I would say that Tampa Bay, the latest Super Bowl odds came out, and they're ahead of the Patriots.
Okay.
They have a lot of talent.
Of course they do. There's a lot down there.
But I also think they've had a lot of talent for a long time, And I think teams that necessarily have the most talent don't necessarily win.
Cleveland Browns.
Cleveland Browns, great.
Okay.
Dallas Cowboys.
Yep.
All right, real quick, the NFL CBA because
that's just quick. So they agreed on it. So for 10 years, they're going to have a new contract to players and the owners. They're expanding this year. They're expanding the playoffs to 2 more teams. It's going to be 2 more teams make the playoffs.
Only one team gets a bye.
The top of each,
Yes,
gets the bye,
yeah.
Which is great. So that's exciting. So we get a better shot of Tampa Bay making the playoffs and New England. And then the other thing was the following year is they're going to have 17 regular season games and then scale back to only 3 preseason games. I mean, those are the big takeaways.
Okay.
So I'm not a big preseason fan anyway. So having another game that has meaning excites me.
Agreed.
So.
We had said that we want to quickly touch base. There was a few Kingswood athletes that were recognized by NHIA over the winter.
Yep.
Nick Potenza, second team All-State.
Yes.
Abby Kelly.
Honorable mention for All-State Division I girls hockey.
Division I girls hockey.
Honorable mention.
Nick was boys
All-State.
hockey. And then Brogan Shannon was honorable mention in Division II boys basketball.
Yeah.
So,
which is awesome.
Congratulations. We also want to mention Robbie Hotchkiss and Allie Bean.
Yep. Ski Meisters.
Meisters.
Which is cool.
And I can't think of anybody else that was recognized, or at least I didn't see anything else.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah,
nice job. That was
this was fun.
An hour episode, and this is our first full hour episode.
Yeah, this has been awesome. I mean, I don't know what Timothy Goodwin. So first of all, thank you, Timothy Goodwin.
Yes.
But we, if programming is low, we could just be on 24 hours a day.
Maybe this is an opportunity that we start going live.
Yeah, maybe. But once again, let's thank our sponsors. So Morrissey's Porch and Pub,
Downtown Grill and Cafe,
and Skelly's Market. Thank you guys so much for supporting us.
And have a good week.
Have a good week.
Stay safe. Wash your hands.
Yep. Go Knights.
And go Knights.